Ricky Lambert with you on the morning show across Victoria and New South Wales, and it is wonderful to be able to celebrate that the Stawell Gift was able to get up and running this year. As has been tradition, it's run over the Easter period. It was traditionally the Easter Gift on the back of the gold rush. That's how long it's been going for, since 1878. Only previously took a break for the war years, and so last year, when the pandemic stopped it running, was a very rare occurrence indeed. This was the 139th Stawell Gift. And before handing out the ribbons for the winners in the races, just looking at the history of the gift in recent times since February 2019, the race that has been hailed as the richest foot race in the country had its prize money slashed from $40,000 to $15,000. But that was because they were struggling to find a sponsor, and then the Victorian Government, Northern Grampians Shire Council and the Stawell Athletic Club had come to an agreement, but then that agreement fell over because of conditions imposed by the Victorian Government. But then in November of 2020, a new sponsorship deal was sealed to keep the race televised and receive $1.22 million from the Victorian Government over 4 years. As I said earlier in the program, talking about country sport and country sporting events, I think that state, federal and local governments and even peak athletic and sporting bodies need to look at investing in these types of community events, not only to support community physical and mental well-being, but to back events that may well go on to be bigger and stronger as regional population grows. The success and return of the event owes a lot to the return of a sponsor, in this case Powercore Australia, who are naming rights sponsors for 5 years starting this year. The race is run over traditionally 130 yards, but that was converted in the metric system to the closest approximate 120 metres in the 1970s. Reports indicate that 5,000 people, a capacity crowd, attended the race, which is said to contribute $5 million a year to the local economy. The women's race was won by South Australia's Hayley Orman, while the men's race was won by Victorian sprinter Edward Ware. Hayley Orman told the gathered media that she'd had a really tough build-up to the race, overcoming injuries, whilst Ware, running in his third final, said it had been really hard doing training during the lockdown, but he had been religiously doing his training sessions to get ready for the race. The races sit roughly at the end of the Victorian athletics calendar and so serve as something of a grand final event for athletic sprinters, and is of course a carnival that runs across the Easter weekend. So congratulations to all the stakeholders, from the sponsors to the levels of government, the athletics club and the organisers and the local community, for digging in there and getting the event back up and running bigger and better than ever.